It is so good to see you today. Today I want to talk about stress relief. We know how this energy thing flows, right? Stress is energy, and it is happening to be negative energy that keeps you stuck in a certain way that you don't progress in your life. Now, a lot of people talk about stress management, and they also talk about time management. Is time management really a component of stress management? Well, I want to challenge that belief today. You see, why am I qualified to talk to you about this? I used to be the absolute treadmill queen. And when I say treadmill queen, I mean every moment of my life was filled with stress. I felt like if I wasn't tackling a task in a particular moment, something horrible was going to happen. And as you can imagine, that wreaked havoc on my health. And now as I coach a lot of entrepreneurs, spiritual leaders, and practitioners, I find that they too have the same challenges. And not only that, they're also procrastinating, some of them, as a result. So I want to share with you 3 tips that I know will absolutely make a difference with you when it comes to stress, because it has made a huge difference for me in my personal life. Now, the first thing I want you to keep in mind is that you cannot manage time. And this is not one of the tips. You can't manage time. When you manage something, you have control over it. What you're literally managing instead is you and what you do. So it becomes important for you to know what are the tasks that you're doing and manage those appropriately. Because time management is a myth. You can't manage it. We all have 168 hours in a week, and we don't have 1 second more. And so you can't manufacture more time if you happen to run out of it. So what do you do then? The thing you have to keep in mind is that you manage your commitments. Whatever you're committing to is something that you need to be aware of. First, you need to know what actually you're passionate about and bring those things into areas of your life that really matter. So focus on those things that really advance your life and that you really love. That's one way to relieve your stress. The second way is that you're going to decommit. You have already, no doubt, committed to a lot of things. Maybe things you didn't even care about, out of love, out of sympathy for other people. And that is not the way to live your life, really, because when you live your life from that perspective, it creates enormous stress. You're always stressed out. If you can find a way to do the things that you really love, mostly all of the times, that's good. There may even be some things that you love to do that may actually increase your stress because it is taking away from other things that advance your life. So what do you do about those things that you've already committed to that you possibly don't love? Decommit. And how do you do that? You go and speak with the people that you have made the commitment with and make an agreement to back out of it or to find a replacement for yourself, so you don't just leave people hanging and they know for sure that they can count on you. Even if you yourself are not going to show up, then you have delegated someone else to show up in your place. And the third and the last one is the absolute most important. I tell you, this made the biggest difference for me in my life. And guess what? It's going to sound really strange. And you have to identify that time is abundant. Ooh, well, now, didn't I just say there's just only 168 hours in a week? So how is time going to be abundant if there's only 168 hours in a week? You cannot manufacture more, can you? You absolutely cannot. But I want you to trust me with this. This is the biggest process for me that has made the biggest difference in my life to reduce my stress. It starts here. The reason why you are stressed is because you're thinking about what's going to happen when you don't meet a certain timeline. So it requires a tweak up here, a simple tweak that's going to take away that enormous pressure on your mind. And here's what you do. You reconcile with yourself. You agree that time is abundant. It's just as simple as that. And so, if you have 168 hours in the week and time is abundant, then you have to do something with those things that are not available to be completed, right? And the point that I made in number 2 actually helps. Decommitting from those things that you cannot meet or that no longer aligns with your passion. But then there is the other component. When you choose to agree that your time is abundant, if you feel a deadline is coming up and you're not going to meet it, relax. Go in and make arrangements with the people you have those deadlines with. It's just as simple as that. If you can't meet the deadline, speak up in advance that you will not meet the deadline and give an alternative. Let me tell you something. When I learned that strategy, it made the biggest difference in the stress-related parts of my life. I'm not going to meet that deadline. What do? I make plans for what will happen when that deadline is not met. So ask yourself this. This is the key question now, okay? Ask yourself this. What is the worst thing that can happen if I don't meet this deadline? And then when you get the answer, make plans to address that worst thing. Voila! I'm going to state it again. It is huge. And I want you to try it. If you feel that you have a timeline or pressures on you for deadlines and you feel like you're not going to meet it, ask yourself, number 1, what is the worst thing that will happen if I don't meet this deadline? Right? And then number 2, make plans and arrangements for that worst thing, should it happen. A lot of times it doesn't, right? But you can make plans. So what if you're on the job and you have a deadline with your boss and you know you're not going to be able to meet it? Walk into his office and say, I'm going to need more time, or I'm going to need more help. I'm going to need you to help assign someone to work with me on this project because I will not be able to meet this timeline. Give a new expected timeline and meet it, or go back again. Don't be all up in your head about what they're going to think or what they're going to do if you don't do it. That is what's creating the stress. So your stress is the fear of what will happen when you miss the deadline. When you eliminate that what will happen piece, the stress disappears, completely disappears. So a fourth item, which is something that I've been working lately in my Energy Healing Circle Facebook group with people in my group, business owners, spiritual entrepreneurs who feel stressed about projects that they want to take on, and then those projects are creeping up and they have fears or they have self-limiting beliefs or whatever it is that creeps up on them. Another tool that you can use to eliminate this is what I call my Surrender for Freedom tool. And I'm going to invite you to go to thedrgwen.com. That is THEDRGWEN.com/SFF. So it's drgwen.com/SFF for Surrender for Freedom. And the link should be in my bio somewhere up there. So look for the link for that free download. Download it. That is magic. People are paying me big money to use that same strategies to clear their emotional stuff, the stress, the whatever they're feeling, when I have provided that for free, that people can use it for themselves. And I am not declining helping anyone. If you want to pay me to do that, that's fine. But I provided that free resource for you, and you can go there and download that free resource and use it. It is power. It's power. Okay? So I'm just going to summarize again before I let you go. What are the 3 or 4 things you can do to relieve stress? Number 1, focus on the things that you really love to do and that really matter to you and that really advance your life or your business. Number 2, decommit from the things you have already committed to by going to the people you made a commitment with, talking to them, and asking for relief or finding someone to delegate to take that place. Number 3, realize that time is abundant. If you feel stressed out because something is coming up that may be causing you stress, ask yourself, what is the worst thing that can happen if I do not meet this timeline? Then make plans for that worst thing. Once that plan is made, whoosh, that stress is all gone. And that is my favorite of my most favorite strategy. I'm tying up my tongue here with some of the words that I'm using, but that is my most favorite strategy. The 4th one is there's a free download for you. You can go there now, thedrgwen.com/S as for surrender, F for freedom, SFF. Am I making sense? Okay, so thedrgwen.com/SFF. Go there and download it and let me know how that worked for you, because I guarantee things will not be the same for you once you use that strategy that I've outlined there. And I see all of you lovely people joining me. Thank you so much for being here. Love you, love you, love you. And listen, on Tuesday, I'll be conducting a live healing session. Well, I pre-recorded it, this one. But if you want to have free energy healing, then I invite you to join my energy healing circle group on Facebook. What I actually do is we have drawings for who's going to be next. And we have released energies from a lot of people. So if you need your energy released, join me over there in the Facebook group, the Energy Healing Circle, and we are going to do the drawings to see whether you will be next or not. Bye. Love you.